13 Stoic principles that will make you unshakable. What if you could control your emotions? Imagine waking up tomorrow, faced with a world full of uncertainty. Work pressures, personal conflicts, endless responsibilities. But instead of feeling the usual anxiety or stress, you remain calm, unshaken, and almost detached from the chaos around you. No panic, no frustration, just unwavering peace. How is that even possible? This isn't some unattainable fantasy. It's the foundation of a powerful philosophy. Stoicism, a philosophy that has endured for centuries, teaching individuals how to master their emotions, their reactions, and ultimately their peace of mind. Think about it. What if you could look at every obstacle, no matter how big or small, and simply remain steadfast? What if you could stop letting the world control your internal state and instead become the master of your mind? This isn't just a lofty ideal. It's a tangible, practical way of living. In the next few minutes, we'll dive deep into 10 time-tested Stoic principles that will help you build an emotional fortress so strong that nothing, no challenge, no insult, no misfortune, can knock you off balance. By the end, you'll be armed with the tools to not just survive life's chaos, but to thrive within it. Are you ready to step into a life where your peace is unshakable? Principle 1. Firm purpose, the compass of your life. Picture this. You're setting sail across an unpredictable ocean. The wind howls, the waves crash, and the future seems uncertain. Without a clear destination, you're at the mercy of the storm, tossed and turned in every direction. Now imagine if you had a compass, something that could guide you through the storm, no matter how fierce the winds. This is what Stoicism teaches us about life. Without a firm purpose, we drift aimlessly, vulnerable to the fluctuations of external events. But with a clear, resolute sense of purpose, we become anchored. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, reminds us that difficulties show a person's character, and the greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. The hardships you face aren't there to break you. They're there to shape you. And your purpose is the anchor that keeps you grounded. Your purpose doesn't just emerge by chance. It's crafted through deep reflection and understanding of what truly matters to you. It's not just about career goals or personal achievements. It's about the values, principles, and beliefs that you hold dear. What do you stand for? What kind of person do you want to become? Once you've found your purpose, it becomes your guiding star. It's your compass, your beacon. When life's storms rise up, you can face them head on, knowing that you have a clear direction. Every challenge you encounter becomes a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. This journey of self-discovery and alignment with your true purpose isn't a one-time event. It's a lifelong process. You may have to reevaluate your direction, shed old habits, and embrace new perspectives, but that's the beauty of it. The clearer your purpose, the more resilient you become. The clearer your purpose, the more unshakable your inner peace will be. So, take time to reflect deeply. What is your firm purpose? Once you find it, protect it, nurture it, and let it guide you through life's most difficult moments. With a firm purpose, nothing, no challenge, no obstacle, will ever feel impossible to overcome. Principle 2. Mastering emotions, the power of choosing your response. In the heat of the moment, when someone offends you or life throws a curveball, it's easy to react impulsively. Our emotions rise, and it feels almost impossible to control them. But Stoicism teaches us a powerful truth. Emotions are the result of our thoughts, and thoughts are within our control. That means, in any given situation, we have the ability to choose how we respond. This is the key to true emotional freedom. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In the same way that a baker perfects their craft through daily practice, you can train your mind to respond with poise and clarity, rather than being swept away by impulsive reactions. Start with small habits. When faced with frustration, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, What is happening here? What can I control? By taking this brief pause, you create space between the stimulus, the event, and your response, your reaction. In that space, you have the power to choose. Imagine a scenario where you've received harsh criticism at work. Your immediate instinct might be to defend yourself or lash out. But what if you chose to pause, observe your emotions, and decide to respond calmly instead? This is what mind control looks like in practice. It's not about suppressing feelings, but about observing them and choosing not to let them control you. Guarding your mind also involves setting boundaries. Just as you wouldn't let garbage into your home, don't let negative influences clutter your mental space. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, books that challenge you, and ideas that inspire growth. The more you guard your mind, the more resilient you'll become to external negativity. Mastering your emotions is an ongoing process. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to respond with clarity, even in the most emotionally charged situations. Eventually, you'll find that life's challenges don't have the power to destabilize your inner peace. Instead of reacting impulsively, you'll respond thoughtfully, with patience, understanding, and emotional control. Principle 3. Handling criticism. Strengthen patience and self-awareness. No matter how much we try to avoid it, criticism is an inevitable part of life. Whether it comes from a colleague, a friend, or even a stranger, it can sting. It's tempting to react defensively, to retaliate, or to let it erode our confidence. But Stoicism offers a different path, the power to decide how much criticism affects us. Epictetus teaches us that our emotional reactions to criticism are not caused by the criticism itself, but by our own perceptions. In other words, it's not the words that harm us, it's how we interpret them. Once we understand this, we realize that we have the power to control our responses. When faced with criticism, the first step is self-awareness. Ask yourself, do I know why I'm being criticized? Am I acting in line with my values and principles? If you have a clear understanding of your motivations, external judgments lose their power. You are no longer swayed by what others think because you're anchored in your own truth. Patience is also key. Instead of reacting impulsively, practice taking a deep breath and reflecting. Consider the possibility that even harsh criticism may contain a kernel of truth, something that could help you grow. This doesn't mean you have to accept every piece of feedback as valid, but being open to learning from it shows maturity and wisdom. Gentleness is another Stoic virtue that can help you handle criticism gracefully. Rather than fighting back, respond with kindness and understanding. Consider the lives of saints who faced harm and insults with calm patience. Their strength came not from resisting criticism, but from embodying the virtues of patience, gentleness, and humility. A thick skin is also important. This doesn't mean becoming indifferent or ignoring feedback. It's about resilience. Recognize that criticism is often more about the person giving it than it is about you. People criticize others because of their own insecurities, frustrations, or misunderstandings. By acknowledging this, you can depersonalize the criticism and protect your self-worth from being shaken. Lastly, constructive dialogue is a powerful tool. If the criticism comes from someone close to you, engage in a calm, thoughtful conversation. Ask for clarification and express your perspective. This not only helps resolve misunderstandings, but also strengthens relationships. Remember, how you respond to criticism defines your character. Choose to respond with grace, patience, and self-awareness, and you will inspire others to do the same. Principle 4. Transforming offense, turning hurt into strength. It's natural to feel offended when someone insults or wrongs you. The impulse is often to lash out, retaliate, or harbor resentment. But here's where Stoicism teaches us a valuable lesson. Your emotional response to offense is a choice. You don't have to be controlled by your immediate reactions. In fact, you have the power to transform offense into an opportunity for growth. Epictetus famously said, "What disturbs people's minds is not events, but their judgments about them." In other words, it's not the offense itself that hurts you. It's how you choose to perceive and react to it. Once you understand this, you gain freedom. You no longer have to be a victim of others' words or actions. Instead, you can reclaim your peace by choosing to view the offense through a different lens. One of the most powerful techniques in Stoicism for transforming offense is cognitive reframing. When you feel hurt or angry, pause for a moment and try to look at the situation from a different perspective. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience help me grow? Instead of focusing on the wrong done to you, shift your focus to what you can control. Your reaction. For example, if a friend criticizes your choices, instead of getting defensive or angry, take a step back. Reflect on the feedback. Is there any truth in it? Could it be an opportunity for you to reaffirm your commitment to your own values? By reframing the offense in this way, you turn what could have been a painful experience into a lesson in resilience and self-reflection. Empathy is another Stoic tool to help transform offense. Try to put yourself in the other person's shoes. What might they be going through that caused them to act this way? This doesn't excuse bad behavior, but it can help you respond with understanding and compassion rather than anger. When you practice empathy, you begin to see the humanity in others, even when their actions hurt you. Forgiveness also plays a crucial role in transforming offense. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning the offense. It means releasing its hold over you. By choosing to forgive, you free yourself from the emotional burden of anger and resentment, allowing you to move forward with peace. Remember, transforming offense is a practice. It requires patience, self-awareness, and a commitment to personal growth. The more you practice reframing, empathy, and forgiveness, the easier it becomes. Eventually, you'll find that external offenses no longer have the power to disrupt your inner peace. Instead of being weighed down by hurt, you'll become stronger and more resilient with each challenge you face. Principle 5. Confronting fear and shame, transforming weakness into strength. Fear and shame are powerful emotions. They can hold you back, dictate your actions, and make you feel small. But Stoicism teaches us that these emotions are not inherent in the situations we face. Rather, they arise from how we perceive and interpret those situations. And the good news is, once you understand this, you can change how you react to fear and shame. Fear is often rooted in the unknown. It's a natural response designed to protect us from danger, but when left unchecked, it can become debilitating. The Stoic approach is simple. Face your fears head-on. Instead of avoiding what scares you, examine it closely. Ask yourself, what exactly am I afraid of? Break it down into smaller, more manageable concerns. Often, you'll find that your fear loses its power once you rationally assess it. For instance, imagine you're terrified of public speaking. The fear might stem from worrying about being judged or making mistakes. But by breaking down this fear, you may realize that the audience isn't there to judge you harshly. They're there to listen and learn. And even if you do make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. Every speaker stumbles. By facing your fear and preparing thoroughly, you gradually build confidence and make the fear less daunting with each experience. Shame, on the other hand, often stems from a sense of inadequacy or a feeling of being unworthy. It can arise from societal expectations, past mistakes, or comparing ourselves to others. Stoicism teaches us to confront shame with courage and self-compassion. Instead of allowing shame to fester, we should reflect on our imperfections, learn from them, and move forward without being defined by our past. Imagine you feel ashamed of a past mistake. Rather than letting that shame hold you back, face it directly. Reflect on what happened. What did you learn? How can you use this experience to grow? By transforming shame into a lesson, you free yourself from its grip and turn it into a source of strength. Another powerful tool for overcoming shame is self-forgiveness. Holding on to shame keeps us trapped in a cycle of self-criticism. But by forgiving yourself, you release that burden and allow yourself to move forward. This doesn't mean excusing your mistakes, but rather acknowledging them, learning from them, and then letting them go. Stoicism encourages us to see fear and shame not as weaknesses to be avoided, but as opportunities for growth. Every time you confront your fears and face your shame with courage and self-compassion, you build resilience. Over time, these emotions lose their power over you, and you develop the strength to navigate life with confidence, authenticity, and inner peace. Remember, overcoming fear and shame is a gradual process. It's about taking small steps every day, whether through confronting your fears directly, reflecting on your past mistakes, or practicing self-compassion. The more you face these emotions, the more resilient you become. And eventually, you'll find that fear and shame no longer hold the power to define your actions or your self-worth. Principle 6. Anticipating obstacles, preparing your mind for life's challenges. Life rarely unfolds exactly as we plan. Challenges, setbacks, and unexpected twists are inevitable. The key to navigating these obstacles, however, is not to avoid them, but to prepare ourselves mentally for them. Stoicism teaches us that by anticipating obstacles in advance, we can face them with greater clarity, composure, and resilience. One of the core Stoic techniques for preparing for life's difficulties is called premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. This involves mentally rehearsing potential challenges before they arise. It's not about dwelling on negativity or expecting the worst, but about being realistic and ready for whatever comes your way. By envisioning obstacles in advance, you reduce the shock of their arrival and become better equipped to respond effectively. For example, let's say you have an important presentation coming up. Instead of assuming everything will go perfectly, take a moment to think about what could go wrong. What if there are technical issues? What if someone asks a difficult question? What if you get nervous and stumble over your words? By considering these possibilities, you mentally prepare yourself for any setbacks. This doesn't mean you're expecting failure, but rather that you're proactively ready to handle whatever life throws your way. This practice helps you maintain a calm, adaptable mindset when obstacles do appear. It also allows you to approach challenges with a problem-solving attitude. Instead of reacting in panic or frustration, you're able to think clearly and find solutions. And by mentally rehearsing how you'll respond to challenges, you increase your ability to remain steady and composed when the inevitable difficulties arise. Anticipating obstacles also requires flexibility. Life doesn't always go according to plan, and rigid expectations can lead to disappointment and stress. The Stoic mindset encourages us to remain adaptable, ready to change course when necessary. By expecting that things might not go as expected, you can approach challenges with an open mind and adjust your plans as needed. Another important part of this process is maintaining a balanced perspective. While it's important to consider potential difficulties, it's equally important to acknowledge your strengths and resources. Recognize the skills, knowledge, and support systems you have that will help you overcome challenges. This balanced approach ensures that you're preparing for obstacles without becoming overly anxious or negative. By practicing premeditatio malorum, you build mental resilience. You develop the ability to face life's ups and downs with poise and flexibility, understanding that challenges are not roadblocks, but opportunities to grow stronger. Over time, this practice will help you become more adaptable, more patient, and more capable of maintaining your peace in the face of adversity. Principle 7. Inner strength, the power of self-awareness and resilience. True inner strength doesn't come from external circumstances, it comes from within. Stoicism teaches us that our real power lies not in controlling the world around us, but in mastering ourselves, our thoughts, emotions, and reactions. This inner strength is cultivated through self-awareness, emotional regulation, and a deep understanding of what we can and cannot control. The first step in building inner strength is self-awareness. When you understand your emotions, your triggers, and your patterns of behavior, you gain control over how you respond to external events. Instead of reacting impulsively or being swept away by your emotions, you can pause, reflect, and choose a response that aligns with your values and long-term goals. Self-awareness is an ongoing process. It requires reflection and honesty. Ask yourself, what motivates me? Why do I react in certain ways to stress or adversity? By understanding the root causes of your emotional reactions, you can start to change the way you engage with the world. Another crucial aspect of inner strength is emotional regulation. Stoicism doesn't encourage us to suppress our emotions, but to understand them and respond in a way that aligns with our rational mind. By practicing mindfulness and meditation, you can create space between stimulus and response, allowing you to observe your emotions without immediately reacting to them. This space is where your true power lies, the ability to choose how you respond, rather than being controlled by your feelings. Forgiveness is also an essential component of inner strength. Holding on to grudges and resentment drains your energy and clouds your judgment. Stoicism teaches us that forgiveness is not about excusing harmful behavior, but about freeing ourselves from the emotional burden of anger and bitterness. By choosing to forgive, you release the negative emotions that keep you tied to the past, allowing you to move forward with peace and clarity. Finally, building inner strength involves resilience. Life will always throw challenges your way. Setbacks, failures, and disappointments. The key is to view these obstacles as opportunities to grow stronger. Every challenge you face is a chance to practice resilience, to strengthen your character, and to build emotional fortitude. Over time, this practice will fortify your inner strength, making you more adaptable and less susceptible to the fluctuations of life. Inner strength is not a destination. It's a continuous journey. By cultivating self-awareness, emotional regulation, forgiveness, and resilience, you build a foundation of strength that will carry you through life's storms. And as you develop this inner strength, you'll find that external events have less power to disturb your peace. Principle 8. Restraining actions, the power of thoughtful, intentional decisions. In a world that often values quick reactions and instant gratification, Stoicism teaches us the value of self-restraint, the ability to pause, reflect, and make decisions based on reason rather than impulse. Acting with intention, rather than reacting emotionally, is one of the most powerful ways to maintain control over your life and protect your inner peace. Self-restraint begins with awareness. Before reacting, take a moment to consider the impact of your words or actions. In situations of conflict or stress, ask yourself, what is my ultimate goal here? How can my response align with my values and long-term well-being? This simple pause gives you the space to choose a thoughtful response instead of giving in to your impulses. Consider how you might act when faced with a difficult situation. Maybe a colleague criticizes your work, or someone challenges your beliefs. The immediate reaction might be to defend yourself, to argue, or to lash out. But Stoicism encourages us to resist that initial reaction. Instead, take a step back, breathe, and consider the situation from a broader perspective. By acting with intention and reason, you maintain control over your emotions and prevent impulsive actions that might later lead to regret. Self-restraint is not about suppressing your emotions or desires. It's about acknowledging them and choosing to act in a way that serves your greater good. In our fast-paced world, we're often tempted to indulge in immediate rewards or distractions. But Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies in the ability to delay gratification, to resist the urge for quick fixes in favor of long-term goals and deeper fulfillment. This principle of restraint extends to how we communicate with others. In moments of heated discussion, it's easy to let our emotions drive our words. But by practicing mindful communication, you can ensure that your words are not only thoughtful but constructive. Before speaking, consider whether your words will help resolve the issue or simply escalate the conflict. Are they aligned with your values of respect, clarity, and understanding? By exercising restraint in your speech, you foster healthier, more productive relationships. In addition, self-restraint involves making decisions that reflect your long-term well-being. For example, if you're tempted to procrastinate on a project or indulge in a short-term pleasure, remind yourself of your larger goals and values. By practicing discipline in your daily actions, you create the foundation for lasting success and peace of mind. The more you practice self-restraint, the more natural it becomes. Over time, it becomes a habit, a way of living in accordance with reason and purpose. Rather than reacting impulsively, you act deliberately, choosing responses that align with your true self. This discipline creates space for greater freedom, allowing you to live with integrity and achieve your highest potential. Principle 9. Acceptance, embracing life's imperfections with grace. Acceptance is one of the most powerful Stoic practices, yet it's often misunderstood. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation or giving up. It means recognizing the things that are beyond your control and choosing to focus your energy on what you can change. It's about embracing life as it is, with all its imperfections and uncertainties, and finding strength in adversity. In life, things rarely go as planned. We face setbacks, disappointments, and obstacles that we didn't anticipate. The Stoic mindset encourages us to accept reality as it unfolds, rather than resisting it. When we resist reality, whether it's a difficult job situation, a relationship issue, or a personal failure, we create unnecessary suffering. We waste energy wishing things were different instead of focusing on what we can do next. Acceptance starts with acknowledging that not everything is within our control. We cannot control the actions of others, the events that happen in the world, or even our past mistakes. But we can control how we respond to them. By accepting the things we cannot change, we free ourselves from the weight of frustration and anxiety. This doesn't mean we give up or stop striving for improvement. It simply means we learn to accept the present moment as it is, while still working towards a better future. Stoicism also teaches us to let go of perfectionism. Many of us are driven by the need to achieve flawless results in our work, relationships, and personal lives. While striving for excellence is important, the pursuit of perfection can lead to chronic dissatisfaction and stress. Stoicism reminds us that perfection is an unattainable ideal. Instead of chasing perfection, we should aim for progress, improving ourselves and our situations bit by bit. One of the most powerful ways to practice acceptance is through gratitude. When we focus on what we have, rather than what we lack, we shift our perspective from scarcity to abundance. Even in difficult times, there is always something to be grateful for. Whether it's the support of loved ones, the opportunity to learn from a challenge, or the simple joys of daily life. By cultivating gratitude, we strengthen our ability to accept life as it is and find peace in the present moment. Another key aspect of acceptance is embracing the impermanence of life. Stoicism teaches us that life is constantly changing. Just as the seasons shift, our circumstances evolve. Instead of resisting these changes, we should embrace them, understanding that growth, decline, and renewal are natural parts of the human experience. By accepting the impermanence of life, we become more resilient to its ups and downs and more capable of adapting to new situations with grace. Acceptance also extends to our relationships. We often have expectations about how others should behave, and when they don't meet those expectations, we feel disappointed or frustrated. But Stoicism encourages us to accept people as they are, not as we wish them to be. This doesn't mean tolerating harmful behavior, but rather understanding that everyone has their own journey, their own struggles, and their own way of seeing the world. By accepting others, we create space for deeper connection and more harmonious relationships. Ultimately, acceptance is about peace of mind. It's about learning to live in harmony with the world as it is, rather than constantly fighting against it. When we accept life's imperfections and uncertainties, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and open ourselves to the possibilities of growth, learning, and fulfillment. Acceptance is not passive. It's an active choice to focus on what we can control and to find peace within the chaos. Principle 10. Living according to nature, embracing authenticity and harmony. At the heart of Stoic philosophy is the idea of living according to nature. This principle is not about rejecting the world or retreating into isolation. It's about understanding our place within the natural order of the universe and living in harmony with it. To live according to nature means to embrace our rational, social, and moral nature as human beings, and to align our actions with our deepest values. Living authentically requires self-awareness, a deep understanding of who you are and what truly matters to you. This involves reflecting on your values, strengths, and purpose. It's about rejecting the pressures of societal expectations and the distractions of modern life to focus on what is genuinely important. By understanding your true nature, you can make choices that align with your core beliefs, rather than conforming to the opinions and standards of others. Epictetus and other Stoic philosophers emphasize the importance of virtue as the foundation of a good life. Virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance guide us in making ethical decisions and living in accordance with our rational nature. Wisdom helps us discern what is truly important. Courage gives us the strength to act despite fear. Justice ensures that we treat others fairly, and temperance helps us maintain balance in all areas of our lives. Living according to nature also involves embracing simplicity. In a world full of distractions and material pursuits, Stoicism encourages us to strip away the excess and focus on what truly matters. Meaningful relationships, personal growth, and a life of purpose. This might mean letting go of unnecessary possessions, simplifying your lifestyle, or dedicating more time to things that bring you joy and fulfillment. By focusing on the essentials, we create space for the things that truly nourish our souls. This principle extends to our relationships with others. As social beings, we are naturally interconnected, and part of living according to nature means contributing to the well-being of our community. By practicing empathy, compassion, and cooperation, we fulfill our social nature and create a more harmonious environment. Stoicism teaches us to treat others with respect and kindness, regardless of their differences, recognizing that we are all part of the same human family. Living according to nature also involves an understanding of the natural cycles of life. Just as the seasons change, our lives go through phases of growth, stability, decline, and renewal. Instead of resisting these natural transitions, Stoicism encourages us to accept them with grace. Whether we are experiencing a period of prosperity or a time of difficulty, we must remember that both are part of the natural flow of life. By embracing change and adapting to it, we can navigate life's challenges with greater ease. Finally, living according to nature means recognizing our connection to the environment. As part of the natural world, we have a responsibility to care for the planet and preserve its resources for future generations. Stoicism teaches us to live sustainably, to make choices that honor the delicate balance of ecosystems, and to respect the natural world around us. Incorporating mindfulness into our daily lives can help us live according to nature. Mindfulness helps us stay present and aware of our actions, allowing us to make intentional choices that align with our true selves. Whether through meditation, deep breathing, or mindful observation, these practices help us connect with both our inner nature and the world around us, encouraging us to act with purpose and authenticity. Living according to nature is not just a philosophical concept. It's a way of life. By aligning our actions with our values, embracing simplicity, practicing empathy, and accepting life's natural cycles, we can live more authentically and harmoniously. Stoicism reminds us that true happiness doesn't come from external achievements, but from living in accordance with our true nature. Principle 11. Self-discipline, mastery over impulses and desires. Stoicism teaches us that true freedom is found in self-discipline, the ability to control our impulses and desires. In a world where instant gratification is often celebrated, self-discipline is a practice that allows us to remain grounded and focused on what truly matters. It's about resisting the temptation to indulge in fleeting pleasures and choosing long-term fulfillment instead. Self-discipline starts with awareness. Recognizing when we are driven by impulsive desires or distractions is the first step to mastering them. Whether it's the urge to procrastinate, overindulge in food, or act out of anger, Stoicism encourages us to pause, reflect, and choose a response that aligns with our highest values. This is not about suppressing desires, but rather understanding them and deciding whether they align with our greater purpose. Imagine this. You're faced with a difficult decision. Do you stick to your plans, focusing on your goals, or do you give in to the immediate temptation of something easy or comfortable? The Stoic approach is to consider the long-term effects of your choices. By practicing self-discipline, you not only strengthen your character, but you also create the mental clarity and emotional stability needed to navigate life's challenges. Self-discipline also helps us build habits that support our growth. It's not about harsh self-restriction, but about creating a life where our daily actions are consistent with our values. When we discipline our minds and bodies to focus on the things that truly matter, we create space for peace, fulfillment, and resilience in our lives. Principle 12. Adaptability. Embracing change with flexibility. One of the fundamental truths of life is that change is inevitable. Whether it's a shift in our personal circumstances, changes in the world around us, or even the natural cycles of life, we cannot avoid change. Stoicism teaches us that adaptability is a key principle for navigating this ever-changing world with grace and wisdom. Being adaptable doesn't mean being passive or indifferent. Rather, it's about having the flexibility to adjust our approach when circumstances change, without losing sight of our core values. Stoics understand that the universe is in constant flux, and instead of resisting change or wishing things were different, they focus on how to respond in the most constructive way possible. Imagine you've worked for months on a project, only to have it fall apart due to unforeseen circumstances. The temptation to become frustrated or discouraged is natural, but Stoicism teaches us to accept what we cannot control and focus on what we can. Our response: instead of mourning the loss of what was, we can choose to adapt. Perhaps there's an opportunity to learn, grow, or pivot toward a better path. By embracing change rather than resisting it, we remain in control of our emotional responses and retain our inner peace. Stoicism also encourages us to surrender attachment to specific outcomes. Instead of fixating on how things should be, we focus on how we can make the best of the current situation. When we let go of rigid expectations and remain open to new possibilities, we become more resilient and capable of handling life's uncertainties. Adaptability is also about accepting that life's challenges are often opportunities for personal growth. Each time we encounter a setback or change, we are given the chance to learn and strengthen our character. By staying flexible, we open ourselves to new perspectives and better ways of approaching problems. Principle 13. Gratitude. Cultivating a positive mindset in all circumstances. At the heart of Stoicism lies a deep appreciation for the present moment and the recognition of the good that already exists in our lives. Gratitude is a key Stoic practice that helps us maintain perspective, especially in difficult times. It shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, and in doing so, it helps us cultivate a positive, resilient mindset. Gratitude isn't just about being thankful for the good times. It's about recognizing the value in every experience, even the challenging ones. When faced with adversity, Stoics encourage us to look for the lessons and growth opportunities hidden within hardship. By adopting a mindset of gratitude, we can reframe difficult situations as opportunities to develop strength, wisdom, and resilience. Epictetus taught that we should be grateful for what we have and what we can control, instead of complaining about what's beyond our power. This includes our relationships, our health, and the ability to think rationally and choose our responses. Practicing gratitude helps us realize that, no matter how difficult life may seem, we have much to be thankful for. Gratitude also fosters a sense of contentment. In a world where we are often bombarded with messages that we need more possessions, more success, more validation, Stoicism teaches us that true contentment comes not from acquiring more, but from appreciating what we already have. The more we practice gratitude, the more we recognize that fulfillment doesn't lie in external circumstances, but in our ability to find joy and peace in the present moment. To cultivate gratitude, Stoics recommend a daily practice. Take a moment each day to reflect on what you are thankful for, even in the smallest things. This could be the support of a loved one, the opportunity to learn something new, or simply the ability to breathe and exist in this moment. Over time, this practice helps shift our mindset toward positivity, fostering resilience and peace in the face of life's challenges. As we conclude this exploration of Stoic principles, remember this: true power does not lie in controlling the world around us, but in mastering our own minds and actions. Stoicism teaches us that by embracing wisdom, self-awareness, and emotional control, we can face life's challenges with grace, resilience, and unwavering inner peace. This is not a philosophy for the distant past. It's a powerful tool for living in today's world, one that is constantly changing, full of uncertainty and adversity. The principles we've explored are not abstract ideas. They are practical tools that you can apply every single day to build a life of strength, purpose, and fulfillment. But the key to transforming your life with Stoicism doesn't lie in simply understanding these principles. It lies in putting them into practice. Reflect on your purpose, choose your responses thoughtfully, guard your mind, and embrace challenges as opportunities to grow. With each small step, you'll build the inner strength that will help you navigate even the stormiest of seas. If this video has inspired you, don't let this wisdom remain just words on a screen. Take action today. Start applying these principles in your own life and watch as your inner peace and resilience grow. Remember, the journey to Stoic tranquility is not a sprint, but a lifelong practice. And with every challenge you face, you have the opportunity to grow stronger. If you found this video valuable, please like, comment, and share it with others who might benefit from this timeless wisdom. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos on Stoicism and how to live a life of greater purpose and peace. Thank you for being part of this journey. Stay strong, stay grounded, and continue your path to wisdom and well-being.